all day, couldn't we, about who was the best James Bond, but surely everyone agrees that Sir Roger Moore's 007 wore the best gear.
Including that coat. We don't need a coat like that at the moment, do we? Certainly. Today, a range of his outfits like that and other memorabilia are being auctioned off in London. And Celestina Olulode has been for a sneak preview with the late actor's son, who looks unbelievably like his dad.
Daring, dangerous, and yet irresistibly suave. The late Sir Roger Moore as James Bond in the 1985 hit A View to a Kill. It's a role he would play more than any other actor, a total of 7 times. And this is one costume his son Geoffrey remembers well.
Well, I was there with him when he wore it on set. And I worked on the film too. Not many people know that, but in his contract, he wasn't allowed to ski in case of, injury. And here he is, in the films, jumping off mountains with a parachute and skiing. So once he was able to, it was a kid in a candy store. You just couldn't get him off the skis. He just absolutely loved it. And I thought it was very brave of him to start at such a late age.
More than 200 items have been put up for auction by his family. What does it feel like walking around?
Emotionally, it's the first time I've seen it all from a box, from a garage, from a warehouse, and then seeing it all here. It's the closest thing I'm going to feel that Roger's here. His spirit's alive. It's really quite overwhelmed.
It's a collection that includes a Hollywood Hall of Fame plaque, Lamborghini skis, and the first item of clothing Roger wore as Bond.
When we were talking about the overcoat from Live and Let Die, that's the first time Roger actually comes out and says Bond. When he says Bond, James Bond, he was wearing that.
Bond girl Susie Vanna remembers his humour.
What's happened? Where are you going?
It was just the most fun ever. He's so funny, so charming and handsome, and I mean, we were actually making love. Well, we weren't actually making love, but we were supposed to be making love.
But James, I need you.
So does England.
Well, as soon as you walk into this room, all you can see are the beautiful, immaculate suits, completely beautifully tailored, and I think that's Roger down to a T, because he was so charming, so debonair, within these marvellous suits. He was very keen on looking good, And I'm actually a little bit distressed to find there are no red underpants, because that's what he wore when we did our love scene together.
And for collectors, there's a number of limited edition items.
So this watch was created for the 50th anniversary of the Bond franchise. And here you can see engraved To Roger with love from Barbara and Michael. That's Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, the producers. I mean, what a fantastic, unique lot to have in the sale.
I'm curious, how much is it expected to go for?
Well, we've got an estimate of £20,000 to £30,000, and we'll see how it goes on the day.
But Roger was more than Bond. In 1991, he became a UNICEF Goodwill ambassador.
But this was definitely, I think, he was most proud of. He asked, what's the best role you ever played? And he said, a Goodwill ambassador to UNICEF to help children and use his popularity to bring awareness and do good. I think that's quite an admirable profession.
The auction will take place at Bonham, central London, later today. Celestina Olulode, BBC News.
He was such a stylish Bond.
I'm still getting over the red underpants. That was a real bombshell, wasn't it?
Yes, I missed that the first time around.
They're not for sale. Another icon of the screen we can turn to.